Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel and the continuation of our steampunk series. Honestly, this video has to be up there as one of my favorites so far. A few videos back, you might remember I used some silicone putty and silicone rubber to create an inlay from the putty. That was all Let's Resin and it all came out pretty cool, and I then went on to create a load more silicone inlays. I did say I would use them in, future projects, and of course I will keep them as long as they last and use them again and again. We're going to be using them all today in today's video. This mold I'm using is the large druzy edge round mold from Molds and Shapes, of course, all linked below. And the resin I'm using is the Apex resin, again linked below with the discount code. I've also got the Apex top coating doming resin now as well, which I will be using. And Apex do worldwide shipping. So if you fancy some, go grab it. Whilst the resin is being mixed, I can kind of like get everything out that I want to use. I do need the resin first to start this video, but in the meantime, I'm getting everything ready for when my resin is mixed. I'm going to be using a combination of keys, cogs, crushed mirror glass, those inlays, and that large inlay in the center as well that I created using the silicone putty. So this is a bit of a chuck it all in video, if you can call it that. I'm only putting sort of a few things in, but yeah, you could put as much in as you fancy, or whatever theme you are doing, just go for it. Now, first up, the resin has gone through my bubble removing machine as well, because I need this resin to be as crystal clear as it possibly can be. It's pretty much crystal clear anyway, but of course it's been very cold. It's like -3 at the moment. And of course I do like to be extra sure that I do not have a single bubble. So after it was mixed, I put it through the resin mixing machine. Now it's just a case of having fun. Whatever you have that is steampunk, throw it in there. Just chuck it in, shove it in. Whatever you've got will work. You just have to trust the process. Now, I am going for, well, I'll be honest, I didn't quite know what direction this was going to lead me in, because I didn't quite know how I was gonna finish the tray off. All I knew was that I wanted the entire tray to be absolutely packed full of cogs, keys, inlays. That's all I knew. So I was just going with the flow on this one. The outside edge is where all of the attention is going to be focusing at this point, because I know that I'm going to be putting my DIY silicone inlay in the center of this tray. So at the moment, I'm just like, right, just get everything around the edges, get those edges proper packed out before I put my silicone inlay in the middle. And that is why I've sped it up slightly, because whilst I wasn't paying too much attention to everything, I was, and of course that went slowly. It was quite slowly. So like, I was paying attention, but I wasn't, you know what I mean? I was chucking it all in, but I was doing it slowly and gently. So I have sped it up for you, because honestly, sitting through it in real time, even editing it in real time, I couldn't do it. I just couldn't. I was like, no, absolutely not. I'm not going to make anyone sit through this. And if I did that, you'd all just skip forward anyway, potentially, right? And I want you to stay for the whole thing. Next up, I'm throwing in that crushed mirror glass. Now, this crushed mirror glass can be bought from eBay. I bought this from a garden centre. It's classed as a vase filler. So if you get like a vase for flowers, and you put your flowers in your vase and you want something pretty in the vase, then you fill it up with pretty stones or gems or whatever you've got, right? This is what that is. Next up, the inlay is going in. I've sprayed the surface of the inlay with some isopropyl alcohol. I learned that trick from Wendy at Toonpish Crafts. Guys, Wendy from Toonpish Crafts, she needs all of your love right now. Like, all of your love. If you've got any love and prayers, if you pray, Wendy from Toonpish Crafts needs all of your love and your prayers right now. She did put out a post on her Facebook page explaining that, she's here, but she's got a lot going on right now. But she does need all of your thoughts, your love, and your prayers right now. So, Wendy, huge love. Wendy's tip was to spray them with the isopropyl alcohol. This is going to prevent air bubbles from getting trapped in all of that delicate, intricate detail that is on the inlays. So the big inlay has gone down in the middle. Now all of those smaller inlays that I've created are going around the outside edge. Now, are skulls and moths steampunk? The thing is, the moth inlay has got cogs on the front of it, so it does look very steampunky. The skulls, I don't know. I was not around in the steampunk Victorian engineering era, so I actually don't know if skulls are steampunk. But you know what? It works. And at the end of the day, it is art. We can do what we want with art. I could put a polar bear in here if I wanted to. Do you know what I mean? An elephant in the snow. Let's get people talking. Yeah, so all of the inlays went around the outside. That's just going to give us some extra detail, some extra depth and visual yumminess. Then I was kind of looking at it thinking, well, after I've got all these inlays in, there are still gaps. There's visible gaps in between the inlays, the keys, and the cogs. So I do end up, after I've done all of the inlays, I do end up going and just filling the gaps. Wherever I can see a gap, I'm filling a gap with a key or a cog or whatever floats your boat, guys. Whatever it is you want to do, you do it. And trust the process. Trust this. Chuck it all in. You can really, really, really chuck it all in and do what you want to do when you're doing your own art. So at this point, I was happier. I still had a couple of little gaps. I just wanted to get some keys in there. But at this point, I am so, so happy. It was time to walk away. Come back 24 hours later when we start to peel these silicone rubber inlays out of the back. One of my favourite things to do ever with resin is peel the silicone inlays out of the resin. It honestly is like Christmas. It is such a satisfying part of resin art if you're using inlays, honestly, and just seeing the imprint that they have made in the resin below. Now, do you need to make inlays to do this? No. If you have the molds, these are all the stunning elite Finnabair Prima molds. If you have these molds, you can simply create your pieces within the mold, i.e. dust them with your brown, gold, copper powders and fill them with the black resin, and then put those into your resin piece. You don't need to make silicone inlays. The only reason I do silicone inlays is because A, when I've got silicone, I tend to just make some on the side for future use, and B, you get to use them over and over and over and over and over 100 times, as opposed to using, you know, resin and creating a load of blanks that way. But you know, either way it works. This is a close-up. The stunning, stunning imprints. That moth with the cogs are beautiful. Couple of things I don't like. I don't like the big fat lip around my DIY inlay. I don't like the fact that the inlay is not central. There's already things I don't like, but that is just the way my brain is. And yeah, again, I'm not being hard on myself. I'm just pointing out the things, all the little things. So if you can avoid those things, like come back upstairs 20 minutes after you put your inlay down, come back upstairs and see if that inlay has moved. Resin does move, so just drag it back to the center. So all these little things, if I can help you not do them, then that's all I'm saying. Now with the background, hindsight is a wonderful, wonderful thing. I've said it multiple times. I went straight in with, again, these were all filmed on the same day. All of these videos, the last 3 videos were all filmed on the same day, the same 2 days. So again, I'm using the gold powder. I won't use it past this point, I promise. This is going to be encased, so hopefully it would be, you know, it would be fine. But I didn't know at the time that the gold powder could pose a problem. I went in with like copper, gold, and then bright gold. Being hindsight a wonderful thing and all that, I wish I went in with different colours. I wish I went in with some navy blue, light blue, even some silver, because for me this was all a little bit too same. It was too gold, basically. Copper, gold and bright gold, yeah, it was a regret. But, you know, what I could have done, again, was do something that Wendy from Toonpish Crafts does, and that is wipe off some of the surface or use tape to remove some of the surface, right? And then I could have added in the blue and the navy blue or the silver on top. But at the time, it just didn't occur to me. It was only on Demold I thought, you're a bit same, and I wish I put more colours in. The back coat of this tray is epoxy resin with the Vista Black Liquid Pigment. I really want those mica colours that I've put on the front to super pop. I've sped this section up for you because all of the gold powder and obviously the mica, it's all rising to the surface. Nothing like we've seen before. So we have not got a pretty back on this one. In fact, it reminded me of mould. It reminded me of when mould spores grow on a surface, and that's why I sped it up and zoomed in for you so you could actually see it. Let me know if you agree. This is what we're looking like. Now, first up, I do love it. We've got some seriously stunning air bubbles. Can you see those air bubbles? They look like copper pearls. Stunning, beautiful. Yes, please. This is everything. I love the keys, the cogs. I love, love, love the inlays. That moth at the bottom, stunning. Thank you very much. The clocks, the skulls, all of it. What I hate. All right, hate is a strong word. No, bring that back. Bring that back. I don't hate. What I dislike the most is this. This middle, this inlay. It's got such a raggedy old jagged edge. I'm not a fan, and I'm not a fan of the fact that it moved, right? So now it's not even central, so now I'm irritated. First world, guys. It is genuinely, hand on heart, a first world irritation. I know there are more serious things in life, but we're talking crafting, yeah. The crushed glass in the druzy edge, I love. That druzy edge is stunning. Splendificus. These air bubbles, I mean, the one time I would have loved more air bubbles, please, thank you very much. Not a single other air bubble. I mean, what are the odds, please? Because the amount of times I get air bubbles and I'm like, oh, we'll just call them, you know, we'll just work it in. But those 3 air bubbles there, stunning. I wish I had 10 more like it because those copper beads look like everything. The middle section for me is still crying out as an archaeological dig. Like it really is. It is screaming archaeological dig to me. And not really steampunk. Now, this is where I had a little bit of a creative meltdown. I could not find anything to go on this tray. I've got all of the UVDTFs. I've got all of the steampunk stickers. I contacted Amanda Towgood from Resin Supplies Den and I was like, hey, I've got this tray. I really need something for the center. She's got these absolutely stunning images of skulls and cogs and steampunk-esque. Amanda is currently doing maintenance on her machine, so I couldn't get a sticker in time for this video. So I knew that I would have to rely on my own brain, which is really a hazard. Let's be honest. There was nothing. Nothing I had was doing it for me. So it was at this point I thought, right, I'm going to have to layer it up. I'm going to have to cut out a ton of stickers and layer this up. Now, tip number 1, don't do what I did. I did it the wrong way round. Start with your background. Now, I'm not really a journal. I don't keep journals. I don't really do all of those sticker journal type junk journaling things. And I think if you were naturally that way inclined, you would have known. Start with the background and bring the images forward to the foreground. What I really wanted was a set of 3 hot air balloons behind this stunning image of the girl. I wanted 3 hot air balloons behind her. Well, it was too late because once you stick these stickers down, they're down. They are down and nothing is bringing them back up. So yeah, start with your background. Think about what you want in the background. I decided to cut out a whole entire compilation. So like, let me find all of the smallest images that will work with this. Now she is wearing pale blue, light blue. A lot of these images are pale blue, light blue, so I know they'll work. But some images are just the wrong blue. They're teal. They're bordering on green. So anything small like this, the hats, the glasses, like that butterfly, that moth has got that bright green teal. It's not going to work. It has to be all in the same blue colour family. So again, teeny tiny cogs, the glasses, any little clocks, any little pipe work, that little owl got cut out, and I decided to then use all of these stickers, which, by the way, yes, if you're thinking, but Claire, you're just going to cover up the inlay, yes, it was not intentional, but I felt I had to. I didn't like it. It was my least favourite aspect of the tray. I adored the outside edge of the tray. All of those inlays and those keys and those cogs, my favourite part. That centre part, no, not at all. So we're going to start here and we're going to layer them around to the point where we can no longer see that ugly, jaggedy edge of the DIY inlay. That was the plan, and I'm telling you something else. I had so much fun doing this. Seeing it layered up, seeing all of these stickers going down, and feeling and seeing the depth coming through, this was fun. The more I put down, the more I loved this tray. And I will be honest, I did not love this tray on Demold. I loved the outside edge only, and the center of the tray really got me. I was like, oh, this is awful. Like, I genuinely don't know what to do on this tray. I've got nothing that works. It's too much gold, too much of everything. It needs breaking up. So this is when I decided she is going to have 2 hot air balloons behind her, which is why I said background first. It really is crucial. I feel like my videos are just full of what I would do better next time. No, honestly, I'm sick of myself. I can imagine a lot of you are like, Claire, come on, give us one, please. One video where you do everything right, in the right order. I don't know when that day will come, but now that I've done this, I will remember for next time. She sadly only gets 2 hot air balloons now because the third one would, of course, you know, cover her face. Now, the placement of this one, I was trying to make it so like she's holding an aeroplane, and I still wanted that to be seen. But then if I moved it over too far to the left, it was covering up the pipes. But then I'd rather have the hot air balloon. And at this point, I'm like, yes, thank you very much. Like, the layering, I absolutely loved it. There were still some areas suspiciously ugly around the lip of that DIY inlay, just here, like there were still little sections, so I just continued on. I found all of the itty bitty little stickers that would just work with the color scheme, work alongside her and the hot air balloons, and I ended up sticking an owl. I put an owl there. Now that moth that you just saw me hold in my hand, I'm obsessed with it. I absolutely love that moth, but it just doesn't fit. Now, this is me 3 to 5 working days later trying to peel back this UVDTF, honestly. Sometimes you get it straight away, and sometimes it's like, come on. So the owl did a great job of covering up that final little unsightly gap. And then it was the moth. I knew there was no room on this tray for that moth, so I am going to be using that moth in an upcoming video because I'm fully in love with it. It was like, right, do I put it here? You know, like, this is when I need you all with me. Like, the colours work. Should I put it there? No, because then the moth takes away from the centre point, the girl, if I put it here. But then if I put it at the bottom, it's covering up all of the yummy goodness at the bottom. I don't want to cover the owl. I don't want to. So again, I think sometimes planning in advance, which is something I didn't really have the opportunity to do here. This was all very ad hoc. Like, what can I do on this tray that's going to bring it to life and make it something special? If this was my plan all along, I would have laid all the stickers out. Like, physically laid them out on my desk. I would have put everything down on my desk in the order of which I'm going to stick it on the tray. Now that I have this information, I will do that next time, and I would urge you guys to do that too. If you're thinking of doing more of a journaling style-esque sticker layer upper video, sticker layer upper, well, it's a word now, all right, it's a word now. Then definitely lay it out first. Design it before you stick it all down, because once these are down, they're down and it's game over. But I love this one. I love it. I love it with every inch of my being. This is hands down one of my favorite steampunk videos ever on my channel, let alone just my 2026 series. I am fully in love with this. What else would I do different next time? For me, it's got to be those background colours. It's a lot of the same. And I've mentioned it before, of course, but if I were to do this again, I say that a lot, I never usually do things twice, but if I were to do this again, I would definitely put down a lot more blue, way more colour in the background, bright blue, light blue, navy blue, and silvers, something else alongside the copper and the gold. I'd still have the copper and the gold because it's got to tie in, but yeah, that's the only thing I would change about this entire piece. I genuinely love this. I think it tells a story. I think it transports us all back to that Victorian era of steampunk, of, you know, engineering, steam engineering, and I just love it. Everything about it. I love it. Can you tell I love it? I do tell you guys when I'm not so keen on something. I am very honest in my videos. There's no point in me lying. Like, I just don't get why I would, you know. But this one I truly love. And I know because of those background colours and because of what I've done here, it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. But I think it's absolutely beautiful. I just wish. I wish she had another hot air balloon behind her, because 2, it needs to be 3. I hope you feel inspired from something in this video, and do not forget that hype function. If you are still here, there is now a hype function underneath these videos. Now, in my last video, I was told that everybody gets 3 hypes. So you can't just continually go and hype people's videos. You get 3 hypes, something like that, in 24 hours, or 3 hypes a week per person, or something like that. But if you have not yet used your hypes, please give me a hype. Click that hype button. Still don't quite know what it does, but I'm guessing it pushes me out to the algorithm and shows my channel to people who have never come across me ever. I mean, that would be amazing. Thank you so much. If you are still here, I will see you all in the next video. Thank you again. Bye.